You've heard it a million times, haven't you? Nuts are healthy, packed with good fats. A super snack. It's become almost gospel, repeated in magazines, on morning shows, by well-meaning friends. But what if that simple advice, especially after you hit 60, wasn't just incomplete, it was dangerously misleading? What if some of those very nuts sitting in your pantry, the ones you munch on daily thinking you're doing your body a favor, were actually working against you in ways no one dares to talk about openly? Think about it. That handful you grab without a second thought, could it be slowly undermining your vitality? Could it be quietly putting pressure on your heart, clouding your sharpness, even putting a strain on your kidneys? And the unsettling truth is, countless seniors are doing exactly this, eating certain popular nuts every single day, believing they're healthy, while these same nuts might be chipping away at their well-being. My name is Dr. Sarah Mitchell. For over 3 decades, I've dedicated my life to helping men and women over 60 reclaim something precious: their energy, their mental clarity, and yes, their vibrant intimacy. I've sat across from thousands, listening to their frustrations, their hopes, and witnessed firsthand the incredible power food holds. I've seen how the right choices can breathe life back into tired bodies and minds, while the wrong ones, often disguised as healthy, can silently steal that vitality away, bite by bite. So, what if I told you there's a different story about nuts? What if I revealed that there are 4 specific nuts proven to be powerful allies after 60? Nuts that actively support healthy blood flow, nourish your brain for sharper thinking, help balance your blood sugar naturally, and can even pave the way for better, more restful sleep? The remarkable part? Despite their benefits, almost no one over 60 is eating these particular nuts consistently. On the flip side, what if I showed you that 4 other nuts, heavily marketed and widely perceived as healthy choices, are often doing the opposite? That they might be quietly fueling inflammation inside your body, interfering with crucial medications you rely on, and potentially putting extra stress on your heart? You deserve to know this difference. It's not about fear-mongering. It's about empowering you with clear, science-backed knowledge tailored specifically for your body in this vibrant chapter of life. In this essential discussion, I'm going to walk you through all 8. The 4 you should consciously choose every single day, your natural medicine cabinet. And the 4 you might seriously consider leaving behind for the sake of your health. We'll dive deep, using solid research and practical understanding of aging physiology. And near the end, I'll expose one nut in particular, arguably the most dangerous common offender, linked concerningly to memory fog and even potential liver strain. Chances are, it's sitting in your kitchen cupboard right now. Before we uncover these truths, if you're over 60 and value taking control of your health, do this right now. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell.
Why?
Because this channel is dedicated exclusively to providing you with a kind of honest, age-specific health insights you won't find everywhere. We cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters for your well-being. Don't miss another vital lesson designed specifically for seniors like you. And if this message resonates, if you're ready to make empowered choices, type 1 in the comments below. If it doesn't quite connect yet, type 0 and tell me how I can better serve your health journey. Your voice matters. All right, let's begin with hope and healing. Let's talk about the 4 powerful nuts that aren't just snacks. They're like nature's targeted support for your heart, your brain, your energy levels, and yes, even your intimate vitality after 60. Understanding why they work is key to making them a daily habit. 1. Brazil nuts, your thyroid and vitality spark plug. I remember Jack vividly. A retired firefighter in his late 60s, a man used to action and strength. When he first came to my office, the spark was dimmed. Exhaustion clung to him. His mind felt foggy, like wading through thick mist. And the frustration in his eyes when he spoke about his lagging energy and intimacy, it was palpable. He'd tried the gamut, powders promising miracles, pills from countless bottles, trendy diets that left him hungry and discouraged. Nothing brought back the vibrancy he remembered. We ran comprehensive tests. The result that jumped out? A severe deficiency in selenium. This isn't a nutrient most men or women over 60 think much about. Yet it plays a massive, often overlooked role in how we feel, think, and function at our core. Selenium is absolutely critical for activating thyroid hormones. And your thyroid? Think of it as your body's master metabolic regulator. When it slows down with age, as it naturally tends to, it can manifest as crushing fatigue, constantly cold hands, unexplained weight gain, and that frustrating loss of your inner spark. Jack's thyroid was whispering, not shouting, for help. The solution wasn't complex. I told Jack, eat one Brazil nut. Just one. Every single day.
No prescription path, no complicated regimen.
Just nature's simplest pharmacy. 3 weeks later, Jack walked back in. The change was undeniable. Color had returned to his face. His eyes held a sharper focus. He leaned forward, a genuine smile breaking through, and said, "Doc, I don't know what magic is in that nut, but I feel like me again." The fog lifted. That's the undeniable power of the Brazil nut. It's the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. Just one single nut delivers over 130% of your daily requirement. But here's the crucial part, especially for older bodies. Unlike synthetic supplements, the selenium in Brazil nuts is bound to organic compounds. This makes it significantly easier for your aging digestive system to absorb and utilize effectively. It's bioavailable fuel for your thyroid engine. The benefits go deeper. Selenium is also essential for healthy testosterone production, something vital for both men and women that often gets overlooked in discussions about vitality. Low testosterone isn't just about libido. It profoundly impacts muscle strength, sleep quality, motivation, and even cognitive sharpness. Brazil nuts provide foundational support for your body's natural hormone balance. Furthermore, research, like studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, highlights selenium's role in reducing inflammation and supporting immune function, both critical as we age. There's another layer: nerve protection. Brazil nuts contain healthy fats that help maintain the myelin sheath, the essential insulation around your nerves. Think of it like the protective coating on an electrical wire. Without it intact, signals slow down. Reflexes dull. Movements become less fluid. That feeling of being disconnected from your body? Preserving the myelin sheath is paramount, and Brazil nuts offer direct nutritional support for this vital structure. Crucial note: more is not better. Selenium is vital, but in excess, it can become toxic over time. Stick strictly to 1, maximum 2 Brazil nuts per day. Store them in the refrigerator, ideally still in their shells, to preserve their precious oils. Chew them thoroughly. It's a tiny, simple ritual with an enormous return on investment for your energy, metabolism, and vitality. You don't need expensive potions. You need nature's potent wisdom, consistently applied. Jack's renewed spark is proof. Imagine adding the next nut to this daily ritual. It's the one I call the silent guardian, a defender of your structural foundation and your cognitive fortress. Yet, its profound benefits are often underestimated. 2. Almonds. The bone and brain sentinel almonds hold a special place for me. Maybe it's their satisfying crunch, or that subtle, lingering sweetness. They remind me of my own father. Every morning, without fail, he'd sit by the window with a steaming cup of tea and a small bowl of raw almonds. He'd savor them slowly. "These little things are keeping me sharp, son," he'd say. Back then, I admired his habit, but didn't grasp the profound science behind it. Now, after decades immersed in the science of aging, I understand. He was absolutely right. Almonds are one of the most overlooked, yet potent, allies for senior health. They are a daily sentinel guarding 2 critically vulnerable areas: your bones and your brain. Let's start with your structural fortress, your bones. After 60, and accelerating past 65, bone density often declines rapidly. This isn't just about osteoporosis. It's about the terrifying reality that a simple stumble can lead to a fracture, months of painful recovery, and a devastating loss of independence. Almonds are a nutritional powerhouse here. They offer a significant amount of calcium, about 75 to 100 milligrams in just a quarter cup. But what truly makes them stand out is their magnesium content. Magnesium acts like a master traffic controller for calcium. It directs calcium into your bones, where it's desperately needed to maintain strength and density, instead of allowing it to wander into your arteries where it can cause hardening, calcification. This calcium-magnesium synergy is rare and powerful in a single food source. Studies, including those from the Framingham osteoporosis study, have shown that adequate magnesium intake is strongly associated with higher bone mineral density in older adults. Now, to the command center, your brain. The fear of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, the insidious creep of brain fog, often looms larger than concerns about heart disease for many seniors. And rightly so. These conditions steal not just memories, but identity and autonomy. Almonds come armed with potent antioxidants, particularly concentrated in their thin, brown skin. The flavonoids in that skin work in powerful concert with the vitamin E found abundantly in the nut itself. Together, they form a defense brigade against oxidative stress, the cellular damage caused by free radicals that relentlessly attacks brain cells as we age. Research from institutions like Tufts University has demonstrated that the specific antioxidants in almonds, especially with the skin on, can help slow markers of cognitive decline and improve memory function when consumed regularly. It's like giving your brain cells a protective shield. Beyond bones and brain, almonds offer another essential gift: fiber. A serving of about 23 almonds packs roughly 3.5 grams of fiber. This is crucial because digestive regularity becomes a significant, often unspoken, struggle for nearly half of all seniors. Constipation isn't just uncomfortable, it impacts energy levels, mood, nutrient absorption, and overall well-being. Almonds provide gentle, effective support for a smoothly functioning digestive system, contributing profoundly to daily comfort and vitality. How to harness this power? I typically recommend 15 to 20 raw or dry roasted, unsalted almonds daily. Crucially, chew them thoroughly. This is especially important for those with dental work or swallowing difficulties. Make it mindful. You're not just eating a nut, you're investing in your future mobility, your mental clarity, and your fundamental dignity. Almonds are your silent, steadfast protectors. Integrate them daily, and your body will respond with stronger steps, clearer thoughts, and more vibrant days. But what if I told you nature designed a nut that physically resembles the human brain, and science suggests it might just be one of the best natural foods for protecting that very brain? A nut that boosts circulation, enhances cognitive function, and even promotes deeper sleep? That's the power we unlock next. 3. Walnuts. The brain's cherished fuel. There's a moment etched in my memory. Years ago, I visited Harold, a retired music teacher in his 70s. He was grappling with profound grief after losing his wife, but also with a creeping, frightening fog, forgetting names, misplacing keys, even getting confused on familiar drives home. During my visit, he opened a kitchen cabinet and pulled out a small glass jar filled with walnuts. He looked at me, a quiet determination in his eyes, and said, "I read somewhere they're good for the brain. And look, they even look like a brain." That simple observation struck me deeply. Harold, in his quiet struggle, was instinctively reaching for nature's support. And remarkably, science strongly backs his intuition. Walnuts are extraordinary. They transcend being a mere snack. They are arguably one of the most potent brain-supporting foods nature provides. Structurally, their convoluted surface does indeed mirror the human brain's folds. Biochemically, they do something even more profound. Walnuts are exceptionally rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. ALA is a fundamental building block. It helps construct and maintain the flexible membranes surrounding brain cells. As we age, these membranes can stiffen, hindering communication between neurons. Signals slow down. Memory retrieval becomes sluggish. Focus wavers. ALA helps keep these neural pathways supple and communication flowing efficiently. But walnuts don't stop there. They're loaded with polyphenol, powerful antioxidant compounds with a unique ability. They can cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside the brain sanctuary, they directly combat inflammation within the neural tissue. Why is this critical? Because chronic, low-grade inflammation is now recognized as a primary driver of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's disease, and dementia. It's a silent fire damaging the delicate structures of thought and memory. Walnuts act as a natural fire extinguisher at the source. A compelling study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults consuming just 1.5 ounces, a small handful, of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed measurable improvements in processing speed, mental flexibility, and even verbal reasoning, tangible cognitive benefits. Here's a benefit many overlook. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the hormone your body produces to regulate sleep-wake cycles. As we age, melatonin production often declines, leading to frustrating insomnia, fragmented sleep, and poor recovery. Incorporating walnuts, particularly in the evening, provides a natural dietary source of melatonin. Many of my patients report falling asleep easier and experiencing more restorative sleep after making walnuts an evening ritual. Improved sleep, in turn, is foundational for brain detoxification, memory consolidation, and overall cognitive resilience. The practical prescription. Aim for 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. Store them in the refrigerator to protect their delicate, beneficial oils from spoiling due to heat and light. Embrace the slight bitterness in the skin. That's where many of the potent antioxidants reside. Consider it a badge of protective power. Harold still eats his walnuts daily. While grief remains, he tells me his mind feels clearer, his focus sharper, and his sense of self more anchored. Walnuts won't perform overnight miracles, but consistently, they nourish and defend your most precious asset, your mind. While walnuts champion the brain, the next nut is the unsung hero working quietly across multiple vital systems, defending your blood pressure, safeguarding your precious eyesight, and providing crucial support for stable blood sugar. It's often underestimated, but once you know its multifaceted benefits, you'll see it in a whole new light. 4. Pistachios. The triple threat protector. My grandfather had this old, smooth wooden bowl that always sat on his kitchen counter. Every single afternoon, without fail, he'd settle into his worn armchair with a small pile of pistachios, meticulously cracking them open one by one. As a child, I saw it as just his quirky habit. Now, with decades of nutritional science understanding, I realize he was engaging in a profoundly wise act of daily self-care, completely intuitively. That simple bowl of pistachios was protecting his cardiovascular health, his vision, and his metabolic stability, long before we had the studies to prove it. Pistachios are, without question, one of the most underrated superfoods for seniors. They often get overshadowed by almonds or walnuts, but what they lack in fanfare, they more than compensate for in multi-system functionality. Let's break down their protective power. Blood pressure guardian. Pistachios are potassium powerhouses. A 1-ounce serving, about 49 kernels, delivers a significant 285 plus milligrams of potassium. This mineral is absolutely critical for counteracting the effects of sodium and maintaining healthy blood pressure. After 60, arteries naturally tend to stiffen, and sensitivity to salt often increases, making hypertension a common and dangerous foe. Studies, like those published in Hypertension, have specifically shown that pistachios can help lower systolic blood pressure. They support vascular relaxation, taking pressure off your heart. Vision Defender. Inside those green and purple kernels lie 2 potent carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds are like internal sunglasses for your eyes. They accumulate in the retina, specifically the macula, and act as a natural filter against harmful blue light. This is crucial because age-related macular degeneration, AMD, is a leading cause of vision loss in seniors. Consistent intake of lutein and zeaxanthin, as found abundantly in pistachios, is strongly linked to slowing AMD progression and preserving sharp, central vision. Research in the Journal of Ophthalmology supports this protective role. Blood sugar stabilizer. Despite their satisfying richness, pistachios have a relatively low glycemic index and are packed with fiber, about 3 grams per ounce, and healthy fats. This combination is metabolic gold. It slows down digestion, preventing rapid spikes in blood sugar after meals and promoting more stable insulin levels. For the millions of seniors managing type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, replacing sugary or refined carbohydrate snacks with a portion of pistachios can make a tangible difference in glucose control, as evidenced in studies like those in diabetes care. Pistachios offer a unique behavioral bonus too, eating them in the shell. The act of shelling naturally slows down your eating pace. This allows your body's satiety signals time to kick in, helping prevent overeating. The growing pile of empty shells provides a clear visual cue of how much you've consumed, making portion control intuitive and effortless. It turns snacking into a mindful, almost meditative ritual, a moment of calm focus that's beneficial in itself. Your daily dose. Aim for about 1 ounce per day, roughly 49 unsalted or lightly salted pistachios in shell. If arthritis or hand strength is a concern, seek out the naturally open varieties for easier shelling. Incorporate them as a satisfying afternoon snack, a salad topper, or even blended into pesto, using the safe nuts, of course. Pistachios deliver a rare trifecta: exceptional nutrient density, delicious flavor, and tangible therapeutic benefits for your heart, eyes, and metabolic health. They empower you with delicious defense. But here's the pivotal turn. While these 4 nuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios, can be powerful allies in your health journey after 60, there are others lurking in plain sight that actively work against you. Nuts that wear a convincing, healthy mask but are often triggering hidden inflammation, sabotaging medications, spiking blood pressure, and contributing to that frustrating brain fog. Knowing which ones to avoid is just as crucial as knowing which to embrace. Let's pull back the curtain. 1. Peanuts. The inflammation and toxin trap. George's case stays with me. A proud 72-year-old Vietnam vet, always active, always disciplined. But he came in worried. Unexplained joint aches, persistent tiredness, and creeping blood pressure despite no major lifestyle shifts. As we talked, one habit stood out starkly: daily peanut snacks. "They're healthy, right, Doc?" he asked, genuinely perplexed. That moment crystallized the widespread confusion. Peanuts are not nuts. They're legumes grown underground. That single fact sets the stage for significant problems, especially for seniors. The aflatoxin menace. Peanuts grow in warm, moist soil, making them highly susceptible to mold, particularly strains producing a potent toxin called aflatoxin. This isn't something you can see, smell, or taste. It's invisible contamination. The danger? Chronic, low-level exposure to aflatoxin is a known risk factor for liver damage and even liver cancer. Seniors, whose liver detoxification pathways naturally slow down with age, are significantly more vulnerable to accumulating this toxin. The World Health Organization, WHO, classifies aflatoxin as a Group 1 carcinogen. Inflammatory instigator. Even beyond potential toxins, peanuts themselves contain lectins and other compounds that can trigger low-grade inflammatory responses in many individuals. This isn't a dramatic allergic reaction, though those are serious, but a subtle, chronic smoldering fire inside joints, blood vessels, and tissues. For seniors already battling stiffness, arthritis, or cardiovascular issues, peanuts can be fuel on the fire. This inflammation is a key contributor to arterial stiffness, cognitive fog, and overall reduced resilience. Sodium and additive overload. Most commercial peanuts are heavily roasted and salted. That sodium load is a direct assault on blood pressure management, a critical concern for over 60% of adults over 65. Many brands also use hydrogenated oils, source of harmful trans fats and added sugars, especially in peanut butters. Even natural peanut butter often has excessive salt and lacks the beneficial compounds of true nuts. Omega imbalance. Peanuts are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. While some omega-6 is essential, the modern diet is already overloaded, creating an unhealthy imbalance with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. This skewed ratio promotes systemic inflammation, worsening conditions like arthritis and potentially impairing cognitive function and circulation. Medication interference. Peanuts contain compounds that can interfere with the absorption and effectiveness of certain medications, particularly blood thinners like warfarin, due to their vitamin K content. For seniors managing complex medication regimens, this adds an unnecessary and potentially dangerous complication. While an occasional peanut won't cause catastrophe, regular consumption after 60 poses cumulative risks that outweigh any marginal benefits. The inflammation, toxin risk, sodium, and medication interactions make them a poor choice compared to the true nutritional powerhouses. Safer, more supportive crunchy alternatives exist. The next nut on our avoid list is particularly deceptive. It's creamy, popular in healthy treats, but it can spike blood sugar, promote painful kidney stones, interfere with digestion, and even pose a hidden choking hazard. 2. Cashews. The blood sugar and oxalate saboteur Linda was a joy, 70 years young, full of laughter, loved baking for her grandkids. But she came to me troubled, persistent fatigue, nagging stomach discomfort, and alarming spikes in her blood sugar readings. Reviewing her diet revealed a surprising pattern. Cashews were everywhere. In her trail mix, blended into smoothies, baked into healthy granola bars, even as a quick snack. "They're good for you, right?" she asked hopefully. Her experience highlights the deceptive nature of cashews for the aging body. Blood sugar spiker. Cashews have a surprisingly high carbohydrate content for a nut, about 9 net carbs per ounce, and a notable glycemic impact. They can cause blood sugar levels to rise more quickly than expected. For the significant percentage of seniors managing diabetes, 25%, or prediabetes, nearly 50%, these repeated spikes contribute to insulin resistance, fatigue, brain fog, and long-term vascular damage. Choosing nuts with lower carb impact is crucial. Oxalate overload and kidney stone risk. Cashews are loaded with oxalates. These compounds bind tightly to calcium in the digestive tract, hindering the absorption of this vital mineral, a major concern for seniors already at high risk for osteoporosis. Worse, excess oxalates are excreted through the kidneys and can crystallize, forming painful kidney stones. The risk of kidney stones increases significantly with age, and high oxalate foods like cashews are a key dietary contributor, as noted by the National Kidney Foundation. Digestive discomfort. The high fat content in cashews, combined with specific compounds, can be difficult for some aging digestive systems to handle, leading to bloating, gas, and discomfort, particularly when consumed in quantity. Choking hazard. Their smooth, curved shape makes cashews surprisingly easy to aspirate, inhale into the lungs, especially for seniors with age-related slowing of the swallowing reflex or dry mouth, a common side effect of many medications. Choking incidents involving cashews are a serious concern in elderly care. Processing reality. Raw cashews are toxic, containing reshiol, the same irritant as poison ivy. They must be steamed or roasted at high temperatures to be safe. This processing degrades delicate nutrients and healthy fats, leaving a product that's more of a processed food than a nutrient-dense whole nut. Cashews offer little unique nutritional benefit for seniors that isn't surpassed by safer nuts like almonds or walnuts, while carrying significant risks related to blood sugar, kidney health, digestion, and safety. It's wise to swap them out. The next nut feels like a luxurious indulgence, often marketed as heart-healthy due to its monounsaturated fats. But for seniors, its extreme calorie density and fat profile make it a stealthy contributor to weight gain and other problems. 3. Macadamia nuts. The stealthy weight gainer Carl was sharp, a retired engineer in his late 60s, disciplined and analytical. But he was baffled. Over several months, he'd gained noticeable weight without changing his core diet. His blood pressure was inching up, and he often felt sluggish, especially after meals. When we dissected his habits, he chuckled, "Well, Doc, I don't eat junk, but I do have a small bowl of macadamia nuts most nights. They're supposed to be heart-healthy, right?" That assumption is where the danger lies for many seniors. Calorie and fat density bomb. Macadamias are the fattiest and most calorie-dense common nut. Just 1 ounce, a small handful, maybe 10 to 12 nuts, packs nearly 200 calories and a whopping 22 grams of fat. For seniors over 60, whose metabolic rate has naturally slowed and who are often less physically active than in younger years, these calories add up fast without providing significant satiety. It's silent weight gain, creeping on without obvious overeating, leading to increased strain on joints, heart, and metabolic health. Research in obesity journals consistently shows energy density is a key factor in unintentional weight gain. Saturated fat concern. While rich in monounsaturated fats, good. Macadamias also contain a significant amount of saturated fat, about 3.5 g per ounce, higher than most other nuts. Excessive saturated fat intake is linked to increased LDL, bad. Cholesterol levels, a known risk factor for heart disease. For seniors already managing cholesterol or hypertension, this fat profile isn't ideal. Gallbladder trigger. Many older adults have gallstones, often unknowingly. The extreme fat content in macadamia nuts can trigger gallbladder contractions, potentially causing painful attacks, biliary colic, that may require emergency care or surgery. This risk is well documented in gastroenterology. Oral health hazard. Macadamias are notoriously hard and dense. For seniors with dental bridges, crowns, implants, or generally sensitive teeth, biting into them poses a real risk of cracking or damaging dental work, leading to pain, expense, and difficulty eating. The heart-healthy, monounsaturated fat narrative overlooks the overwhelming calorie load and significant saturated fat content, making macadamias a poor choice for weight management and cardiovascular health in seniors compared to nuts like almonds or walnuts. That nightly small treat can have outsized consequences. While macadamias might weigh you down, the final nut on our avoid list is small but potent in its potential for disruption, interfering with medications, causing bizarre taste disturbances, and posing hidden risks. 4. Pine nuts. The medication and taste disruptor Ruth was meticulous about her health, 74, managed her medications perfectly, walked daily, loved cooking. But she came in deeply concerned. Dr. Jenkins, everything tastes like metal. Even water tastes strange. It's been weeks. We explored medications, hydration, digestion, nothing obvious. Then she mentioned her new favorite, homemade pesto, loaded with pine nuts. The puzzle clicked. Pine nuts, though tiny, can cause surprisingly significant problems for seniors. Pine mouth, metallic taste disturbance. This is a well-documented, though not fully understood, reaction to certain pine nuts, often linked to varieties from China. It causes a persistent, often severe bitter or metallic taste, dysgeusia, that can last for days or even weeks. While not physically harmful, the consequences for seniors are serious. When food and water taste unpleasant or metallic, intake often unconsciously decreases. For seniors already vulnerable to unintentional weight loss, dehydration, or malnutrition, this can lead to rapid decline, frailty, weakness, and increased hospitalization risk. Taste is a critical driver of nutrition in later life. Medication interference risk. Pine nuts contain compounds that may interact with the cytochrome P450 enzyme system in the liver, the primary pathway for metabolizing a vast array of common medications. This includes drugs for blood pressure, cholesterol, statins, blood thinners, and antidepressants. The potential is for altered drug effectiveness or increased side effects. While research is ongoing, the risk is significant enough and the information sparse enough that caution is paramount for seniors on multiple medications. Inflammation potential. Oxidized fats. Pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, PUFAs. While PUFAs can be healthy, they are very delicate and prone to oxidation, especially if stored improperly or for too long, common with pine nuts. Oxidized fats promote inflammation and oxidative stress within the body, potentially worsening conditions like arthritis or metabolic syndrome. Aspiration hazard. Their small size, smooth surface, and oily texture make pine nuts easy to accidentally inhale, particularly for seniors experiencing dry mouth, xerostomia, a common side effect of many medications, or age-related changes in swallowing coordination. Aspiration pneumonia is a serious risk. Given the significant risk of taste disturbance impacting nutrition, the potential for medication interactions, the possibility of consuming oxidized fats, and the aspiration hazard, pine nuts offer little unique benefit to justify these risks for seniors. Safer flavor alternatives exist for pesto and cooking. Final message from Dr. Sarah Mitchell. Your power to choose. Your potential to thrive, reflecting on the thousands of men and women over 60 I've had the privilege to care for. One truth shines brighter than any supplement or prescription. Aging itself doesn't diminish us. It's the accumulation of small, daily choices, often made on autopilot, often based on outdated or misleading information, that either fortify us against the years or quietly erode our vitality from within. And food, especially something as seemingly insignificant as which nut you grab from the bowl, sits powerfully at the heart of this narrative. Today, we've navigated the landscape of 8 nuts. We've celebrated 4 true allies: Brazil nuts for igniting your thyroid and vitality, almonds for standing sentinel over your bones and brain, walnuts for cherishing and fueling your precious mind, and pistachios for their triple threat protection of your heart, eyes, and blood sugar. These aren't just snacks, they are concentrated doses of nature's supportive wisdom, proven by science to work in harmony with your body after 60. We've also confronted 4 common imposters: peanuts and their hidden toxins and inflammation, cashews and their blood sugar spikes and kidney risks, macadamia nuts and their stealthy weight gain, and pine nuts with their troubling taste disruptions and medication worries. These are often marketed as healthy, sometimes even indulged in guilt-free, but for the unique physiology of aging, they often act as silent saboteurs. I need to say this clearly, not just as your doctor, but as someone who has witnessed both struggle and remarkable resilience. You are not broken. You are not too old. Your health is not a lost cause. The body you inhabit today is astonishingly responsive. It listens. It adapts. It can heal and renew when given the right building blocks. I've seen it happen time and again. The man who swapped his daily peanuts for pistachios and saw his blood pressure numbers gently fall, reducing his medication burden. The woman whose chronic fatigue lifted, not from a stimulant, but from the consistent selenium spark of a single daily Brazil nut. The couple who found deep, restorative sleep returning after making walnuts an evening ritual, their connection and joy rekindling with their energy. These aren't flukes or miracles. This is biology responding to intelligent nourishment. This is your inherent capacity for well-being, activated by choice. So tomorrow morning, as you stand in your kitchen, or later this week as you pass the snack aisle, pause. Remember what you now know. Choose consciously. You don't need perfection. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Start with one change. Choose the almonds over the cashews. Grab the walnuts instead of the peanuts. Make that mindful choice, and then make it again the next day. This is how powerful change begins, not with grand gestures, but with consistent, informed steps. Because this journey isn't ultimately about cholesterol numbers on a chart or blood pressure readings on a monitor. It's about waking up feeling steady and strong on your feet. It's about recalling your grandchild's name instantly, savoring the punchline of a joke, having the energy for that walk in the park, feeling the warmth of a held hand, and experiencing the confidence and joy of a body and mind that still feel vibrantly yours. It's about living fully, independently, and with vitality in every precious year.
I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell.
And I want you to hold on to this. You are not too old to reclaim your strength. You are not too late to rediscover your energy, your mental clarity, your deep sense of confidence. You simply need to provide your body with the right, supportive resources. It will meet you more than halfway.
Start with the nuts.
Let that simple choice be your first, powerful signal to your body and to yourself that you are ready to thrive. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's keep this vital conversation going. Share your one in the comments if you're ready to make these powerful choices. Your journey to vibrant health after 60 continues right here.